2026 Brewers regular season game 20. The Brewers will win against the Marlins 5-2. Brandon Woodruff for the win. Sandy Alcantara with the loss, and Abner Uribe with the save. Top of the first, Sal Frelick would hit a single. William Contreras would fly out, and then Bryce Strang would hit into a double play to end out the inning. Bottom of the first, Brandon Woodruff would throw 1-2-3. Top of the second, Gary Sanchez and Jake Bauers will get back-to-back outs. Luis Rengifo will hit a double. Garrett Mitchell will get walked, and then Brandon Lockridge will ground out to end out the inning. Bottom of the second, Liam Hicks will lead it off with a single. Otto Lopez will hit into a ground out, then an RBI single by Connor Norbury will make it 1-0 Marlins. Owen Casey and Heriberto Hernandez will get back-to-back outs to end out the inning. Top of the third, Joey Ortiz will lead it off with a walk, and then Sal Frelick will be out number 1 on a flyout. William Contreras and Bryce Strang will get back-to-back walks, and then Gary Sanchez will hit into a double play to end out the inning. Bottom of the third, Javier Sanoja will lead it off with a walk, and then Brandon Woodruff will throw 1-2-3. Top of the fourth, Jake Bauers will be out number 1 on a flyout. Luis Rengifo will get walked, and then Garrett Mitchell will hit into a ground out to be out number 2. An RBI single by Brandon Lockridge will tie it up at 1, then you get a stolen base. Joey Ortiz will be out number 3 on a pop-out. Bottom of the fourth, Liam Hicks will lead it off with a single, then Brandon Woodruff will throw another 1-2-3. Top of the fifth, Sal Frelick will be out number 1 on a pop-out, then William Contreras will hit a double. And now we have Bryce Turbang versus Sandy Alcantara. There we go. Little 2-run home run on a cutter right down the middle. Gone. That looks not 400 feet, but somehow it is. I think it was because of the hop. Look at this cutter. Bang! He puts the bang in Bryce Turbang, by the way. 402 feet at 106 miles an hour. After the home run, Gary Sanchez will get walked, and then Jake Bauers and Luis Rengifo will get back-to-back outs to end out the inning. Bottom of the fifth, Brandon Woodruff will throw 1-2-3. Top of the sixth, Anthony Bender would enter the game for the Marlins. He started by walking Garrett Mitchell, then he get a stolen base. Brandon Lockridge will be on number 1 on the strikeout, then Joey Ortiz will get walked. An RBI fielder's choice by Sal Frelick will make it 4-1. William Contreras will strike out, being out number 2, and an RBI single by Bryce Strang will make it 5-1. Gary Sanchez would be hit by a pitch. Lake Becker would enter the game for the Marlins, and you get the final out of the inning to Jake Bauers. Bottom of the sixth, Brandon Woodruff will throw 1-2-3. Top of the seventh, Luis Rengifo and Garrett Mitchell will get back-to-back outs. Brandon Lockridge will get walked, and then Joey Ortiz will be out number 3 on a pop-out. Bottom of the seventh, Brandon Woodruff will throw another 1-2-3. Top of the eighth, Sal Frelick and William Contreras will start by back-to-back outs. Bryce Strang will get walked, and then Gary Sanchez will be out number 3 to end out the inning. Bottom of the eighth, Jake Woodford would enter the game for the Brewers. He'd get back-to-back outs to Heriberto Hernandez and Javier Sanoja, and then Jacob Marcy will hit a single. Xavier Edwards will hit a single, then Augustine Ramirez will be on number 3 on a ground out. Top of the ninth, John King would enter the game for the Marlins. He started by getting back-to-back outs to Jake Bauers and Luis Rengifo. Garrett Mitchell will get walked, and then Brandon Lockridge will strike out to end out the inning. Bottom of the ninth, Liam Hicks would be out number 1 on a ground out. Otto Lopez, Connor Norbury, and Owen Casey would all hit singles. Abner Uribe would enter the game for the Brewers. He started by giving up an RBI force out to Heriberto Hernandez, making it 5-2, and then Javier Sanoja would be out number 3 on a ground out. Alright, so the Brewers win 5-2 against the Marlins. Record in the regular season is now at 12-8. And the Brewers' respective hitter of the game goes to Bryce Strang. The pitcher of the game goes to Brandon Woodruff.